Hi.
Hi, welcome to Death is My Life podcast. I'm your host, Jolene, and I'm here with repeat guests, Madeline, Ian, and Jimmy.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so in preparing for this four-way today, I had to go to Best Buy, and I swear I got the most stonedest guy there, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Jimmy sent me some good advice, but he was like, hey. And I'm like, well, do you have the thingy to go to that thingy? And he's like, no, your Mac is whack.
This isn't me. It's not me.
No, it's
Okay,
the guy at
you just-
Best Buy.
You made it sound like I gave you that.
No, you gave me good advice to go to Best Buy, but then at Best Buy, I came out with less than I went into. And so we're making do with this. So if you don't like the quality, I don't know, you know what read the transcript. Okay, so today, with my 40th birthday approaching next week on February 22nd, I wanted to talk about closing chapters in your life, saying goodbye to parts of ourselves. So 40, since I'm going to be over the hill soon, so is Ian.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're saying goodbye to our youth, which we're so mature that we probably already have said goodbye to our youth.
Course.
See you later. These two spring
Us
chickens
youngins.
don't know what we're talking about.
I would also like to point out for our listeners that everybody has notebooks and are very organized, and I'm just sitting here. I didn't know it was a class today.
It just helps to keep my thoughts clear.
Yeah.
Just different little tidbits that are being talked about or things I might want to say or whatever the case might be.
Brings me back to my youth of skipping school, go to the beach.
Getting shunned by the teachers because I was such a good student. And you were not.
Yes, this is true.
Well, my dad's parting words to us for letting us use his house were, don't make it a giggle fest.
There's already a lot of
We
giggling
will
right now.
not.
Trying. We'll course correct that right now.
Well, I'll edit it out. Not because I don't know how. Okay, so how do you feel about turning 40?
How do I feel about turning 40? I'm honestly been more excited about that benchmark or that life box being checked than I was about 21 or 30 or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's only because industry-wise, 20 years of working with the senior population have always be considered too young for the role.
Yes.
Finally at 40 with a
Yeah.
little bit of gray hair, maybe they'll actually start engaging me correctly, but we'll see.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. You're too young to be a nurse. I'm I've been a nurse for a long time. So, yeah, I've always had, I guess, a younger face. And so I always had the, I don't know, the stigma of feeling like I was too young to do anything.
Yeah,
and
too inexperienced.
have the, yeah. Yep. So now I'm old and haggard and can finally be the position I deserve. But I always have looked up to those people who just look more distinguished, and I wanted to be that. I didn't want to be a little young looking girl with a baby face my whole life. I think that's why I started drinking so early. This is gonna make me look older.
Our cheeks.
I know.
How do you feel about turning 40?
I feel good about it. I feel like, I have, well, on one hand, I have a daughter in college, and I've been a nurse for a long time, and I've done a lot of things to act my age. But then at the same time, I have a 2-year-old and 4-year-old and things that keep me youthful. My martial arts, I bear crawled and I did the crab walk last week. So,
Wow.
And I was thinking about that. How we experience it. I'm doing the same thing as the 8-year-olds are doing, and they're laughing about it. And I was like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. But then I was whatever. And I laughed about it too. So I can be youthful.
Just like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Being that it's a little bit further off, I am curious, you're the furthest away. Existentially, you haven't even crossed the 30 mark yet. What does 40 feel like at 27?
Feels a long ways away.
You're only 27?
Yeah.
Remember you said you weren't taking the notebook into class?
It feels a long way away, that's for sure. But it also doesn't. I feel like with how fast
years have gone and how much has changed just over the course of the past couple of years. It had always seemed like it was so far away, and then that's not necessarily the case when I start looking at it, because I compare it to things like, oh, your 10-year high school or college reunion or those kinds of things, and them coming up very quickly. So yeah, it's an interesting thought, but I don't put a lot of time into it.
Fair enough.
So
You got a minute, I
you
guess.
Yeah.
have been in your position for 5 years, right?
just
so
about
you've been a
5 years.
manager of people older than you since you were 22 years old.
Yeah.
I
16
was
to
swinging
80.
from the chandelier at 22. Psychotic. I can't imagine that.
yeah.
That's
wide-
interesting. So you must have
wide
got that
range.
too, right? Like, hey, are you old enough to do this job?
all the time. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
how do you feel like hiring people older than you and
I like it.
managing them?
I don't put much thought into that
Yeah.
about like how I'm going to act to a certain person or how I'm going to just treat everybody the same. And
Yeah.
you treat people with respect, they hopefully
Mhm.
will treat you with respect. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of what I've found and what's worked so far.
Perfect. Cool. How about
What
you?
about you?
You're like kind of right behind us on my heels.
I
Over
I
you.
guess I'm approaching soon ish 38. My soul is 26, so I'll just go with that.
There you go.
Yeah, no, and it to what you said, Jimmy, is when those milestones start popping up, like your high school reunion, I'm almost at my 20. And that is a big number when I feel 20 in my heart. So I think that's when it gets weird. It's like that can't be real. That's not a real number to me. So
Do you consider yourself to be age fluid?
no, I'm 26 and I stopped aging.
Okay.
I'm a vampire.
Perfect.
Well, I think part of it's interesting because you said one of the first things you said with 40, which is the same thing I think of when my mom turned 40, my dad turned 40, any of their friend groups turned 40, over the hill. This was the birthday with black and white balloons, graveyard cakes, and like this whole thing over the hill. This was the
Yeah.
generation
It's before
before
your time.
us.
Okay.
That was what 40 was. And now when you look at the millennial generation coming into their 40s, most of them, again, I'd say it's probably 50-50. 50% of them probably started their families in their early 20s, historically, just like their parents had. And then the rest of us waited a significant amount of time. And so I've often heard 40 as the new 30.
Yeah. 40 is the new 26.
Apparently it's the new 26. I was off by 4.
Yeah.
Sorry, that one.
It's a 26.
So the idea is like
crazy.
when people turn 30, then it was that whole like, I'm an adult, I'm past this idea of youth, right?
Right.
And now it's like that has been moved to the
Yeah.
40 benchmark
Mhm.
or, whatever the case is.
Well, yeah, if you look at pictures of previous generations, they looked so much older at our age than we look, I think.
Yeah.
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 Like balding and big bellies, just so
Yeah.
different.
Dad bods were full effect by 35.
Yeah. So weird.
Do you feel like you're 40? Like, do you feel like you are turning 40? Like you said, you feel like you're 26.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I feel like the new 40. I don't feel like, what I was brought up to think over the hill, she's an old gray mare.
Right.
I mean, I have some gray hairs, but whatever.
I'm the guy who wants more gray. I want all of it. I would, if by the time I'm 45, I had a full head of white hair, I'd be in heaven. That'd be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But I have to take it
I'm not there
in
yet.
stride.
I'm not as confident as he is.
Oh. Well, that's when I took the gerontology program and I found out that the anti-aging market is like a $200 million market or $200 million or $20 billion a year market just for the anti-aging.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, that seems like a waste of money. Let's just lean into the aging and be stoked about the wrinkles, be stoked about the grays.
Yes.
Don't try and hide them. Don't get Botox.
Yeah.
Live a healthy life so the aches and pains are diminished by a healthy lifestyle
Yeah.
versus,
Anti-inflammatories.
pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I think our generation's so much more youthful because we have that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, my notebook turned off.
We are more
lost,
informed
I'm lost.
consumers.
Can you think of any other situation like, so there's age, we're kind of saying goodbye to one part of us, but not necessarily. We're just evolving, I guess. any other like things? Well, you two just got married, not to each other, but like Jimmy and Madeline.
I was like, I wasn't
recently.
there.
So you had to say goodbye to like your single selves. How did that
Really?
feel?
I mean, we've been together for like 10 years, so it wasn't like it was a new thing.
Okay. So yeah, so you've already adapted to that, but you kind of did. I mean, we're not living together too long.
What did I kind of say goodbye to is I definitely am adventurous. Like I'll just jump on a plane in a weekend and just go somewhere if I can. So that now I have to kind of like run it past someone, and that's super lame. Just kidding.
Oh, does you listen to my podcast?
Nope.
It's okay. Neither does my husband.
No, my parents always bug me about it too, because they're like, "You're so mysterious. We don't know where you are ever." So yeah, no, kind of just like that. Oh, I have to, or I should, invite him kind of things. But I think I got to a point where I did enough partying and stuff when I was younger that it's a nice change that I get to be married and starting a new chapter of life, of being more settled down, having that person that's there, and it's a constant friend. Like, yeah.
Do you ever look back? Like,
a Facebook post popped up from like 12 years ago, and I was like, how did I have so much energy?
oh, I'm so old. I had to get off the floor. My feet are falling asleep.
So maybe, I don't think it's a miss. It's like looking back and reminiscing on it's fun, but I don't miss like going out and partying all the time. I can miss like friends or those certain experiences I had, but I don't wish to be out till 3 a.m. anymore, ever. Like my 9 o'clock bedtime routine. So yeah, I think it was closing a chapter, but just, starting almost a whole new book. And I'm fine with that. It's been a lovely book so far.
On that note, what is one belief or like feeling that you had from when you were younger that you feel like you've retired or changed your mind on? Or
That's a good question. I've changed drastically since I was younger. And like, I don't even like to talk about my past because it was bad.
Okay. This girl, I have seen every phase of her. I've
been in this one for a long time. I think this is me.
This one. But if you had told me when we were younger that she would be living on land, raising animals with
on land?
Yeah, with property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, she's living on land. She lives in the ocean.
Living on a boat?
No, like has land and has animals and is kind of hippie and holistic. And I never in my life would have thought that was what would become of her. So go ahead. Tell all your
I don't know.
yourself.
I mean,
I can out you too if you need.
I can't even think of any ideals because I don't honestly think that I had any. But I did think that like I had to drink to be social and have friends. And now like I did have to give up drinking. And so I killed that part of me. That was Roxanne. Her name was Roxanne. She's in the coffin. But I did think like, that was fun me, even though around me those people probably would beg to differ. But like maybe I think I'm kind of boring now, but I'm okay with that. Does that make sense? Like what's important to you? I guess that was important to me, was having a lot of people around and being social and having those kind of big parties. And we had like prom night and all these huge parties. And I don't even know a single friend from back then because they're gone. Right. Like when you don't have that in common anymore, they're all, bye. So I had to give up that all the feelings of social inclusion and being normal. But now that's changed in me because I don't think that's normal.
Right.
Like, you guys don't drink like that because it's not normal.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was normal at the time when I was doing it because I was surrounding myself with those kind of normal
The people who also normalize that behavior.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Can you say the question one more time? Because I had an answer for it when you first said it.
Yeah. What's a belief that you had when you were younger that you feel like you've now retired or moved on from?
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys ever took any of those communications courses or in high school that talked about relationships and stuff, but the idea that you have a certain number of close friends that you can sustain with time, energy, and whatnot. And as if you take a girlfriend, it means that 2 of those friends go away. When you get married, it means that 3 of those friends have to go away. And like whatever that equation was that once you've like found your life partner, the most amount of space that you'll have to be able to devote to those relationships would be 1 or 2 people. I found out, and so I'm just kind of relating this, not necessarily in just a turn to 40, but in combination of getting married too, right? That idea of social circles and having a robust social group and doing things, being invited to things, hosting things, whatever the case is. And I didn't expect this, but I have found myself so affirmed with completion with just what Jane and I have that I don't have the need to every weekend have something planned, every Friday night have something planned, have a trivia Tuesday, a bingo Wednesday thing, where there's extra. Mm-hmm. Not to say that doesn't have value, because one of our coworkers actually has a group of friends that they've been doing things with consistently for 15 years, and they have a sense of community with that sense of those events happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they are not weekly or even bi-monthly. It is bigger events sustained through normal, life patterns, as opposed to this idea where we need to be affirmed in our value by being seen or by hosting and then by providing. Because Jane and I reflected, I was like, holy cow, I can actually go like 6 months and not talk to my closest friends, my brothers from school, the people who are closest to me, that the second I see them, it's just like everything turns back on. 3 of them live here in this town. But I don't need to see them and they don't need to see me for the relationship to have value and power in my life.
Yeah.
So,
Like you need, if you need them, they're there and you pick up exactly where you left off. That's great.
Yeah, but it's not, I expected that to exist all the way through my adulthood. And I was very pleasantly surprised when I found out that was not there.
You said something about having a class that told you that if you had a girlfriend that you lost a friend, and then if you had a wife, you lost 2 friends.
Human Communications senior class at Milo Adventist Academy.
Oh, okay.
I literally have the book because it had us do life plans. It had us do our first personality profiles. We did 20-year, 10-year, and 5-year plans. We wrote out our first collegiate 2 years of collegiate classes that we thought we were going to take. But
do you ever go back and read your
I do.
20-year plan?
I do.
Are you on track?
Oh, hell no. I was so ambitious as a high schooler, thought I was going to conquer the world, hadn't been checked by life.
Yeah.
So, but that needs to happen.
Better.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I feel like if you're writing and saying like, oh, I'm going to have just going to live life and not shooting for the stars, then it's not.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I still shoot for the stars, but it is now mitigated through life experience and wisdom. It is actually attainable and achievable through those experiences, as opposed to just ideological vomiting. So that was a good question.
I think like when you're younger, you have, the American dream. I think that's one that gets lost really quickly. But same thing, I know I have a book somewhere and it was like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And I always thought I was going to get married young and have kids. And one of my answers was like, be a star on Broadway. Like, my American dream is nowhere near that now. But yeah, I think that's one you kind of I let go of, because it's like, life is crazy. It is all over the place. I'm very happy with where I am. It's just not the American dream, or it's the actual American dream.
Yeah.
Well, you can still do the talent show this year if you
I
want.
can't. That's true. I'll be sure to do that. Thank you.
Perfect. You're welcome. Get
Not
your
after
chance.
listening to my own voice on the podcast, though, because
Yeah, I try not to listen to that either.
I apologize
Not
to
your voice, I'm
everybody.
talking
Yeah,
about my
thank you, Jimmy.
Just to,
Hey, I actually got a comment that my voice was making somebody's ears bleed. So,
Oh,
boom.
Interesting.
Podcast is the right job for me.
That's amazing.
was that Harley?
I know you might
I
not
don't
feel
know.
like
Just
you're
soon on
close
that.
to saying goodbye to your youth because, in essence, you are still in your mid 20s. But do you feel like you have let go of anything that you thought would still be sustained?
stealing my questions over here.
No, I'm literally
no, that's
questions. What are you
I
talking
have
about?
them written down
That's a
too.
good, no, that's a good question. I think that yes, when I was younger thought so much about, you know, what every person thought of me and trying to make every person like me and everything like that, and certainly don't feel that way now. I obviously still want people to like me, but at the end of the day, it's more important what I'm doing, what I stand for,
Mhm.
those different things, than if a whole group of people like me. That doesn't faze me at all.
Right.
And that was something that growing up was like, oh, I got to win them over. They don't like me. You know?
Right.
So yeah, I feel like that's a big one for sure.
Because I feel like with the idea of what this whole, you know, this chapter of your podcast is, you know, saying goodbye to our youth. I don't think it's actually we say goodbye to it in this idea of us turning 40 from, you know, even just this brief conversation. It's something that as we're going through our 20s, as we're going through our 30s, we have our different evolutionary points of, you know, progress and growth and development that is letting go of these small, unrealistic ideologies or expectations that weren't grounded in reality.
Right.
And we all hit those maybe at different times or for different reasons, but it's more of a process than a full, like, I'm no longer young, you know, because I think that the idea of, you know, being young, how many times have we served people in our population over the last X amount of years who they were the most vibrant, youthful spirit that we have ever had. So the idea that we don't have to say goodbye to our youth is also in some ways a mindset
Yeah,
that you can find and or will be developed through life.
definitely. Yeah. Well, it is. And like, I think parts of us will remain youthful always, and parts of us will age as we get wiser. And I mean, like, I'm not younger today than I am next week. I mean, technically, but you know, like 39 to 40. 40 is not like it's just a number, you know, it doesn't make you necessarily older.
Do you feel like you've been more intentional about, now that you know that you're hitting 40, you are more intentional with the things that you're doing to stay youthful?
Not necessarily, because I've like for quite a while, I've been on like a health mission anyway, always trying to improve my health within reason. I'm not perfect, okay? But I have, you know, I mean, first I try to get rid of my negative habits, and then I've, like, in the last year been really focused on diet and nutrition, and I've always done my martial arts for exercise, and try not to do things that will make me like energy sucking activities like watching a lot of TV or scrolling or those things that just drain you of life. I don't try to do. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I listen to podcasts because they give you a lot of energy.
What's a memory for all of you that it's kind of like a core childhood memory that you either look back on and routinely try to recreate, or that you just think back to regularly as kind of like when you think of youth, that being your childhood or when you were younger?
Oh my gosh, this is really embarrassing, but I'm going to tell you anyway, but I'll never show you. So I just the other day like made a music video.
Is that the video I just saw on your computer?
Did you see it? I can't erase that from your memory. It was stupid and I don't know why. Okay. But we used to do that. Remember, that was like really fun. So I was kind of thinking of that at the time. I'm like, oh, we did like Always Be Your Baby when my mom was pregnant. We all like made a dance routine. How funny.
Dressing up like Spice Girls.
Oh my gosh. But we still like, we will never let that tradition die. We dress up. We are dresser up. You guys know this. because we did
Yeah.
every single spirit day. Even if it wasn't spirit day, we dressed up.
We dress up.
I'm trying to get better with that. It's hard to be a participant with those ones.
For me, we were always on a road trip or camping. I just remember like we had, the vans that the back seat would lay into a bed. And so we'd all be like sleeping in the back, or one of us always had like a friend be able to come who was kind of like in between all of our ages. So that was always fun. But yeah, I just remember camping a lot and being on the road. So I think maybe that's why I like to travel so much.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm adventurous. And so when we're doing stuff on the weekends, like we have the kiddo and I try to like do more stuff out. Like, let's go on road trips. Let's do that stuff. Cause that's what I grew up with. That's what was really impressionable to me.
All right, my turn. Well, I mean, again, the question is basically things from our youth. Do we reflect on them? Do we try and bring them to the table today, right? The first one's community. And that's a really powerful word that is, I don't think, really prevalent in our current society. We are more artificial in that sense of community through online portals, social media platforms, whatever the case is. And when growing up, not only did I at least know the neighbors, but I'm pretty sure that my sisters and I would go take them Christmas cookies every year.
Yeah.
They did not have to know us. They did not have to like us. We brought them Christmas cookies and wished them a happy holidays. You know what I mean? And secondly, then also outdoors, very specifically every single weekend after church on Saturdays, it was out and hiking, going to waterfalls, going to rivers, just being, out there with nature. And for those two, how I try to is to be intentional about forming relationships of purpose with Lennon, because she's 4 years old. Her routines are so much different than mine. I'm not a regular churchgoer, but that is something that produces systemically and organically that community, seeing each other every week. Even if you don't do anything other than, you still show up and have a group of individuals showing up and doing the same thing for the same reason. Outdoors wise, literally Lennon and I all the time. I do so much with her that like this last summer was the 12 out of 10 dad-daughter summer of paddleboarding, river floats, and in my mind, trying to help her have that same background that I had, which is the love of outdoors and solid memories of, family time being there. And then the last one's gaming. I gamed not very much growing up because I was not allowed to have consoles in my home. So anytime I was at the neighbor's house, Sega Genesis, Road Rash, Sonic the Hedgehog, whatever, Twisted Metal, PlayStation, And now currently I still bring that to the table, and my brother-in-law and I still game 3 to 4 times a week.
It's like, where do you get your time?
3 to 4 times a week for 25 minutes or 45 minutes. And it's just that little moment to connect, with another human who cares deeply about me and my family. I obviously care about him and his family. But we're gaming, trying to fully dominate the other person and get all the headshots. So
That's so fun.
yeah.
It's yours.
You talked about community and neighbors, something that's always a childhood memory of mine, which you touched on. I don't know that, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't have kids, so I wouldn't know. But we were like an open door community. Like we would literally run in and out of each other's houses. The whole block would always work the same way. Sporting events, whatever we were doing, it was just like, oh, we're going over here. Oh, we're going over here. And I just feel like that's changed now. And so that's always something that I look back on and I'm like, God, I'm bummed like my kids won't be able to do that. And maybe they will. Like that's something I hope they can.
Let's all move to the same community.
Open door policy.
Yes.
Yeah. That, and just like, I don't know, I look back at being able to, kind of, I wouldn't even say like life is stressful. Yes, whatever. But I just feel like the care wasn't there. Like you were just, got to go to practice in like half an hour. Got to wake up and go to school. It wasn't like, oh, I have this, and do the next week or whatever it might be. And so looking back on all of those memories was always pretty cool. But I would definitely say community was a big one. And I think that's still something that I thrive for today. Like anytime to be a part of something, always trying to do that so that I can try and recreate that as much as possible. So yeah.
Definitely remember those days of before we moved, there was one, two, three, four, like 7 houses on one block. And we just, same thing. We'd be in everybody else's backyards, and like pools, and like, you never even actually went inside the house. Like when we grew up in San Diego, it's a little different, but yeah, you just were at someone's house. Couldn't find them. Parents would call, be like, is my kid over there? Is my kid over there? And yeah, that was good times that I don't feel like a lot of kids have much anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I'm glad that I have not brought into, more established adulthood is the TGIF in kind of relation to the idea of Roxanne, right? The idea of having the Thursday night 80s night at John Henry's, the Friday night dance party at the Davis. I'm speaking to little bars in Eugene, Oregon. Getting away from that need to have a space for, debauchery, for lack of a better term. I don't know what else to say. Very, very satisfied that I don't seek that, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So one from the other side. Because I have a few more of the things I'm also thankful, like always wanting to be the center of attention. I moved so much. I went to so many different schools that it was a natural tendency to become the class clown because it was the easiest archetype to take over in comparison to all of the other pre-established relationships in a 5th grade class, a 6th grade class, coming back to a 9th grade class, going to another one for 11th grade in high school. That was the easy thing to do. And I'm very thankful that I also do not pursue that archetype in a professional setting because the jester does not get far in life.
I think it's also so I think that's a good thing because I feel like we would, in our current roles, that is not necessarily a thing that you would be able to do. You're looked at as professional in the community, and you have to represent when you're in the community, and I feel like that would not
I wouldn't be sitting here as a current title and role if I continued that particular practice. But those are 2 areas where very thankful to say goodbye to of the youth journey.
And I feel like, so you talked about that, and then Madeline talked about like being around or maybe it was you talking about being around those like certain people to do those kinds of activities or whatever it might be, or going to a specific location to do that. I feel like I get more joy now out of just like going and meeting a friend, going to their house, having a drink with them there, and being able to actually socialize and talk about life and what's going on than going to a bar or going to do that kind of thing.
It's
so
definitely like the quality over quantities now.
Yeah.
And that goes off what you were saying, Ian, is about, you can have these quality friends that you don't talk to for a long time, but they're there. They're quality. I know our younger sister has had a hard time with the quantity, but yeah, like I feel very lucky that I do have a lot of good friends I can call, and we do, a couple trips. I have some friends that we've scattered all across now and try to make our little either phone calls or meetups and stuff like that. So quality
versus quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have a lot of friends. Like her friends stick to her so hard. Like from high school, like I don't know, I'm not good at math, but that was a long time ago. And yeah, even younger. Like once Madeline makes a friend, they don't really go away.
I'm really picky with my friends too, so I have to make sure that they're good friends, or else they're gone.
I know, she's very.
So all your friends listening, congratulations!
Congratulations for being her friend. And then they like become our friends and family and like, call my parents parents. They're really, really close friends. And I'm down to a few friends, but I love them dearly and they are so good to me. So good to me. I even invited my martial arts instructor to my birthday party this year.
Are they going?
He's coming, yes. Yes. Because he's become like community, you know? Like we live in a town that like is developing still. It's like a third world town. And we're working on finding the best within the community. And so that is part of it. It's like one good thing that I have down there and we're holding on to it tight. And he's so wonderful. And I went through like the death of his wife with him, kind of not with him, but it was kind of sort of there sometimes when it could be. And that was really, really rough, you know, because you become a family. You're doing like this intense stuff together. And then he's been, you know, without her now. So I thought it'd be fun for him to come dress 80s with us.
Thanks.
Kind of on that topic, what do you feel like your younger self misunderstood about strength?
I was like no inner strength whatsoever. It was like whatever was around me sculpted me basically. And I'm sure everybody goes through that, but I really went through it. Like, oh, somebody was mean to their sister on a movie, so I'm going to be mean to my sister because that's what you do. That's cool, you know? Like, I remember just being like a little jerk to my parents. Like, there's a picture of me. It's so funny. I have like my DVD or whatever portable CD player with my headphones, and I'm just like, ugh. And I remember like that wasn't me, and I knew that, and I just like thought it was cool because that's what they were doing like on TV, or like I heard a friend talk to their parents rude or something, and just like I really like overly let external factors rule what I thought was important, and that I thought was strength to be like to adapt to that. But you have to find your inner strength and like let who you really are shine through. And that's really strength. That strength is actually going against the grain, I think, to do what's right in your heart.
Be the salmon.
Be the salmon.
Go against the grain. Go
I think
against the flow.
Took
Yeah.
you many attempts to figure out who you were.
Yeah. Well, still figuring.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And then even now, like I adapt to like some stuff, you know, I'm like my husband, you know, we shape each other, right? So he's taught me some stuff and I've taught him some stuff, and that hasn't necessarily like, yeah, me just going along blindly with what he tells me to believe or whatever, but he maybe opens my eyes to something that I didn't see before or
Sure.
something. But that's how you grow. You have to filter the information you get from others around you and decide what you truly believe in and still go with it.
I call it wiping our tables of truth.
Yes.
Simplify it.
I think the strength that, I guess kind of in its own way, like the letting go of certain things. Like, you know, I said I keep friends, but they're like the good ones. I think I learned pretty early on, like or I guess some of them took longer than others, but like it's okay to let things go and take that fail, I guess you could say. Like, you know, I've held on to boyfriends way too long that didn't want to be changed and I was never going to change them kind of thing. But like, I didn't want to fail a relationship or I didn't want to fail a friendship. But in the long run, it's things like you need to let it go. And I think that's where the strength, I think I learned that strength was it's okay to sometimes not pan out how you think it should.
So I'm kind of going through that right now. Like I had a pretty significant disagreement with my husband in the last few weeks, and it's taken us a couple weeks to even like get to where we're okay. But it like what it comes around to is like he has this belief and I have a different belief, and we're not going to be wrong. Neither of us are going to be wrong. And like, how can we learn to live with this? You know? So, I mean, it just, I compare it to like Grease, like at the end, Danny Zuko and Dirty Sandy, you know, like they both kind of like, they don't change who they are, but they like kind of have to compromise and like release their boundaries, move their boundaries a little bit.
Adjust them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not real. It's not a full release. They're just, they're reframing
middle.
their expectation of where they think they should be versus where they want to go, and understanding of what the other person can bring to the table.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think in some relationships that can even be like difficult. Like, I'm older. I just got married. Like, I've been in my own ways for so long. So it's like, we just got in an argument that I get very defensive because I think I do things very right sometimes. So I'm sorry, darling. But like making that learning of that's something I need to let go of, you know, like I need to take that fail. I need to be stronger about that. So.
Yeah. No, I think like figuring out how to grow from your mistakes or just accepting information and growing with it. You have to grow.
One thing that I thought was a strength that was fully not a strength was the importance of being understood. And professionally, I would try every time that someone brought something to my attention as a mistake, shouldn't have been done this way, whatever it was. Being understood to me was the importance of then explaining the mindset through and recognizing that no one who is giving you the piece of information to say you didn't do it right wants to know any reason why you got to where you didn't go. You just have to say, yes. Why, thank you. I will get to this new destination as opposed to the alternative one I was going for. And that, it was really hard for me because I really desperately, my internal value proposition was about being understood. And I fought so hard being misunderstood, as having to pretend to be the class clown and do all these different things through my life, that being understood was a part of that identity. And when I could remove that from my, internal table of truth or my internal optics, that became one of the best things, because then the feedback is no longer, there's no resistance. There's no trying to, let me just share one other piece of data to say why X, Y, or Z happened. No, get the feedback and move on.
That's a good point. So I think I do that a lot. Like with my husband, I'm like, no, you're not understanding what I'm saying. And then like when I was in a manager role, that must be so hard for you. I'm glad you let it go, because I was like that was my meetings every single time. I'm like, I want to implement this, and I'm going to take the whole meeting explaining why. But people have different experiences, different knowledge, different personalities. They might not ever understand no matter how you explain it. So that's a really important thing to acknowledge you can give up.
Yeah. And then the last one, another misunderstanding I had was it's okay not to know. I pride myself on having the answer. I pride myself on being able to, come up with the most appropriate version, and it's okay to not. And I thought that was a weakness. And I've actually found it was an unknown strength that I actually only recently in the last few years trying to hone. Because that honesty with self and honesty with, whoever you're communicating with for whatever reason it might be, it's okay not to know.
It is okay. Even like when we're in leadership role, we can't possibly know everything. And so it is okay to say, you don't know, but let me find out for you.
Or I'll just say, go ask Madeline.
I have all the answers. Without a notebook.
All right. What about you, sir?
I have two things that kind of stood out. One is, and this might sound weird, but trying to support everyone. I think that there's this idea behind, especially being a people manager, is that you are going to be able to support everything that comes up, everything that comes your way, and in a sense, almost be a therapist. And that is something I am certainly not. And so just having to kind of understand that I'm not going to be able to, support everything that everybody's going through and take that on as my own, and be able to navigate that with them, that's not a reality.
Mhm.
And then also, I think just the way in which I was raised was like, you push it down, you don't talk to anyone. And that was something that just being able to, most of that is, with my wife, with my friends, just be able to what's going on and share those different things and be able to talk about things, I think is something that I always viewed as like a weakness if you talk to other people about what's going on. And that is certainly not the case.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it's one of the best maturity pieces and I actually do want to frame this way, that I would be curious from a male to female perspective, that idea of trying to be able to solve and not being able to solve is inherently felt as an extreme weakness, as a failure of self, a failure of social roles. Do you guys feel that in the same way, the burden to have the answer, to have solutions, to consistently provide that? Or is that maybe framed in a different way?
It is. So I think that's an innately masculine thing. But in this like day and age, we're kind of in masculine roles, like
You guys are providers,
we're providers, we are
dual income households.
Yeah. So I think for me anyway, like I am always kind of coming up with a solution. And then I read these like stupid self-help books or whatever. They're talking about trying to even that out. And, just women are emotional and they just need to be heard. And men are like always trying to offer solution. And I'm like, where's my solutions? I need solutions. Cause I'm always like, go, 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 go. And then like, even for every little situation, I'm trying to fix it, but that's not a feminine trait.
Right. It's a human trait that we're all finding ourselves in, but historically have been posed as more gender roles,
Mhm.
but it's actually something we probably are all going through in our own ways.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think it's a caregiving thing. Like you said, a protecting thing. It's a caregiving thing that if you have a problem, do everything I can to make sure that I'm helping you. If you're struggling with something, I'm going to do what I can. So it's like, how can I fix it? I'm a fixer, I guess. Try to fix things. So I think even in a conversation, when some people want to be heard, I'll come up with my own ideas. And I have a friend and we used to say like, do you want sugar or spice? If like someone's like, I need to talk. Do you want my response to be sugar or spice? Like sugar, I'll just tell you like, yeah, I hear you. I'm supporting you. I listen. If you want spice, like I'll be straight up and tell you what you need at that point. So I think having that, to me, it's like, I always want to be able to have a solution to make it easier for someone else.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I can just listen if you want me to listen.
Do you land on the sugar side or the spice side more?
Mostly the spice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
need to do that.
Yeah. I'm like, sugar rots your teeth is normally my response when they say sugar. And I'm like, sugar rots your teeth.
But that goes back again to trying to fix it. Like if sometimes, women, supposedly women just want to be like heard and emotion, the sweet side, but not, I don't think anymore. Like now we want solutions.
I want a solution.
We want the spice so that we can figure out a plan and fix things.
I just had this conversation with Chris because he's like, how come you can never decide what you want to eat? Oh, we were watching the show The Good Place. And the one guy can't make a decision, like to save his life. He's sitting there trying to pick a brown hat or a gray hat for 4 hours to get into heaven. Like he can't figure it out. And Chris is like, that's like you. Like you can't make a choice for food at all. And I'm like, no, because I have so many other things I'm making choices for in a day. Dinner is really hard to choose.
Just to be fair, I think women decided as a collective, like we're never going to be able to answer that question. Like, what do you want to eat?
He figured us out.
I'm literally not going to give you an answer to that.
Well, you know how many
Whatever.
trains of thought go through our mind? Like that's not a simple question. It's like, okay, well, what do I want weighted versus what I should have versus what I think you might want versus what my kids will eat versus how expensive is this food versus who's going to cook it?
Streamline.
I don't think about any of that.
Streamline that too.
That's what I said.
Food needs to be eaten. It does not matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't
But that's
matter.
what I said. I was like,
You guys are adding so many extra variables that don't need to be considered.
just feed me.
Just consume. Just consume.
That's what I said, though. I was like, if I pick something and it's not something you want, it's going to turn into
I
a whole
wouldn't
other
ask.
conversation.
We,
And
we, we would not ask. We're not going to give you that question. You're going to say something. And we're going to say, actually, anything but that. and if that's the case, then yeah, okay, that's a fair response. I'll never ask you again.
I'm just going to throw anything out there from
You
now
can say
on.
anything. And I'm like, yeah, sounds good.
I told him he was coming over for dinner one time, and I told him we were having, what was it? I was like, oh, it's gonna be it's a vegan soup with a with some like a side salad on the side. He was just like, ... Oh, great. I was fairly positive he had redone his entire night to go home, cook himself a steak, just to make sure he had protein before he came over to my house, because he wasn't going to say anything about it.
Oh, should be so poised. He's a very mature 27-year-old.
I have a question here. So we've this idea of like saying goodbye to our youth, the ideas of, things we might have misunderstood through this process. But like, is there a expected next evolution or a desired next evolution with where you're at 40, 38, 27, going on 40?
Yeah.
Is there
yeah.
a next thing that you're gunning for that you look as not necessarily saying you're more adult, you're more mature, but it's like the idea of reflecting upon this growth pattern? Is there that next thing?
I can't wait for retirement.
Oh,
I'm
shit,
not gonna lie.
All right.
I've been always wanting, that's like my goal in life, is just to retire.
That's so interesting that people say that, because I literally don't think about that.
I actually
I think
fear
it'd be so
retiring
fun.
because I think that I'm going to be the person who works until they're 95.
I just feel like I would go stir crazy.
Yeah.
No, not me.
There's so my
It's
mom,
my dream, my every
Madeline,
goal.
my mom has a book that helped her about anywhere between 8 and 10 years ago. And it was the idea that you do not work for retirement. You start living retirement now.
Yep.
And I will say sounds like you're already doing that in the essence of, a random weekend away. And I'm going to go just do this random thing.
Yep.
You need this to write your 2 weeks notice.
You put that
It
back.
is now recorded.
But it's the idea of being able to shift the mindset to the idea that you're shooting for something, that you're working towards a goal of retirement, and you start living out that lifestyle earlier. And that's just,
I think it's another generational thing, though, is people are doing that because they're like, why am I saving my time and my money for when I'm older and I can't go on these hikes? I can't do these big adventures anymore. So I think it's kind of a switch in the generations.
That's like have you heard the proverb of the fisherman? There's like the fisherman that goes down, he catches 2 fish every night, comes back, feeds his family, and hangs out with his family all day. And then this commercial fisherman shows up, and they say they catch a bunch of fish, and they see the fisherman down there every day, and they're like, why are you doing that? Why don't you just go get a boat, go catch all these fish every day for the next 30 years so that then you can retire and then come back and live here with your family and do the same thing that you're doing now. Right. And it's like, to be able to live in the moment, I think is a hard thing for a lot of us to be able to think about and be very intentional with, while also trying to like drive our careers and go to that next step. And that's more time, effort, energy, money, all the things. So interesting. You can work on your editing skills.
I just paid $5 for the Magic Editor AI, and if it edits it out, good. If not,
great. Also great. Do you have a next evolution that you think about?
Yeah,
we're almost done.
I mean, I do. I think like, so my husband's 10 years older than me, and he's always like, well, you'll know in 10 years what I'm talking about.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, it's been 10 years. And he's like, still telling me. So it's always evolution, but I've been a mother for 18 years now. So there hasn't been a lot of personal growth or development. I mean, there has, obviously. I've evolved a lot in that time. But like maybe just finding out how to carve a little bit of time out for just myself is important, especially because, it's been a long time of caring for everybody else.
the first time you carve out time for yourself, you start a new business and start doing a
I
podcast.
I know that's what happens though. Like last time when Harley was starting to get like to the age where she was like a little more independent, I'm like, I'm gonna build a farm. I got all these milk goats. I can't sit still.
I know
It's
I
the
said
problem.
I was a vampire, but I honestly, I don't think I've ever seen Julian sleep like in 40 years.
She doesn't sleep.
She
I
doesn't
don't
sleep.
eat.
You don't. Yeah. I don't.
This is
I'm
great.
trying that one too. I'm on the Ian diet. Right now.
Fair enough. What about you, sir?
I don't know. I think for me, like the kind of biggest thing is kids. I feel like that's the kind of the next step of when I see like how life is going to evolve and change and everything. That's I would say what my wife and I are most excited for, and just I feel like that's a big step in our lives. So
Yes.
I would say that's probably by far the biggest one.
Do you want me to start saving my baby clothes for you?
Hey, maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea.
After
so
about a
exciting.
year
All
and
about
a
the
half
hand-me-downs.
of buying new clothes every 3 months, the free clothes from anyone,
You
from
want
any
hand-me-downs.
source, you will just say, "Give it, thank you so much," because then you can just filter through and be able to make it work. So for me, the next evolution or the next thing I want to say goodbye to for my youth is the ideology that I have had for quite some time due to a very strong memory recall of letting go of organized chaos and accepting the fact that organization is not, even though it is probably one of the most difficult things that I have an innate resistance to, of self-regulating and being held to or being told to do something, and being able to say that it's okay to say, all right, this isn't working and we're going to take this to the next level. And I have about 15 different systems in play right now, and I'm refining them down, but that's the next evolution for me that I really want to take seriously and I'm looking for, is that letting go of the fact that it can look like life is in disarray, but I've got a handle on it. And look where I'm at in life, and look at my family, look at my relationships, look at my career, whatever the case is, and be able to have a stranger walk into my life and know what they need to do next. Because even though it feels like I am trying to micromanage myself in that essence, it should be that easy.
Mm-hmm. So you want to actually essentially get more organized.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was just thinking today the opposite for me. I'm like, I think I'm kind of a chaotic person. And then I was like, I like sometimes feel embarrassed about it. You know, like my friend asked me to borrow a car seat. I'm like, okay, I had to go through like, all the stuff to find it and pulled it out of the garage and brought it over. And I'm like, it's dirty. I'm sorry. I got to go. And like, that's embarrassing. But then she was like, I don't care. Thank you for the car seat, So maybe I just need to embrace my chaos. I don't think it's going away anytime soon.
There's certain things that are not going to change. And have you ever heard the sayings that go look at a person's car when you're interviewing them for work?
Did you
walk them,
do that?
walk them to their car
You would have heard.
and take a glance in.
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
A home, your room,
Yeah.
your home, your car are a representation of the mental space that is.
Yeah.
And so trying to take that
Good luck seeing in my window with all the stuff blocking it.
the idea of being able to reflect on that and then be able to try and elevate by choice, because that's something that I want to say goodbye to,
Yeah.
as opposed to something that naturally just has already occurred through the evolution of life.
Yeah.
And that's something that I have seen people far past me and far further than me in professional careers and success who have sustained organized chaos.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
have never tried or were never successful in that. And that's something I want to be really intentional about, especially turning 40 this year.
Yes, I do want to keep my car cleaner. It's hard on the
You
go.
still
okay,
you still
work in the
have
community.
2 under 4. So,
204, and I work out of my car.
exactly.
In
So
all fairness,
there's
I'll
only
make
so many wins
excuses.
that we're going to see across the board,
Yeah.
but it's about making a choice.
It is. How's your car look today, Ian?
I would put it at a the front half I would put at a 7 out of 10. The back half I'd put, well, because that's where Lennon is. I'd put it at like a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. Good.
I have a dash cam that I got as a gift in July. I just have not installed it.
In the box on the floor.
Every weekend. Every free moment that I reflect on is saying, should have done that. Learn.
Jimmy, is your
and
car 0 out of 10? 10 out of 10?
It's
What's
a 10
sturdy?
out of
Wait,
10.
what's sturdy? I'm
No,
sure it's immaculate.
It's like
Office space, car space, personal space, dialed in.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
Look at his hair.
He has perfectly coiffed hair, if anyone's curious.
See, I don't feel that way. I feel like it's super disorganized. Well, not disorganized. I just feel like it can definitely be like
Distilled.
Yeah, a little messy. Like we don't
Do you say
Like
messy
my-
or busy? Is it busy?
busy. I mean, my wife and I do not like clutter. So there's like you're not just gonna like walk in and see like things in our house that are just like thrown in a corner. To be fair, we also don't have kids, so like that, you know.
You have
But
a
then-
kitchen and a drum set and a swing. And
See, I wish I could have that in my living room. Like, I'm looking forward to that. Playing drums while my wife's cooking dinner, that sounds like a fantastic idea. So, yeah, like workspaces like that too. Like, I have to come in and just like make sure everything's organized by the end of the day or the start of the day or whatever it is, just so I know what's going on.
Mhm.
I think my house and my office are organized. My husband would call my car a trash can.
Mine's a rat's nest, whatever.
Right now, mine's very clean, but it's because I'm borrowing it.
Maybe we should always pretend that we're borrowing
We
both our personal
should.
space,
Yeah.
our cars, we're just borrowing it from someone, so we really have to make sure
I
that
do
it
feel like it
stays.
kind of goes like
accounts.
on your life though too. Like what, my last car, like where was I when I first got it? Where was I when I was in it the most? Like my life at that point was so much different. And so that's kind of like maybe my keepsake of that time. And it just stayed with it, like I was living in Northern California on a farm and just working. And I was basically living out of my car or sharing like a house with a bunch of people. And that's kind of just how it stayed. So yeah, I think now it's back to kind of your question is like, I know I said retirement, that's a huge one, but I think embracing like where I'm at now is, like I'm embracing being married. I'm embracing like we are, saving to buy a home and how do I want my, next however long to look and how can we grow together and what are our goals in that? What will my new car look like? So clean and pristine.
What's my Sprinter van gonna look like?
Exactly.
Clean and pristine.
do you feel like you spend more time thinking or reminiscing on the past or focusing on your future?
Future. 10,000%.
Right. Yes, I'll never.
I can reflect on my past with very, very quick realizations of, shouldn't have done, could have done, whatever. And am going to focus on not repeating the same ideological mistakes.
Mhm.
The reflection is appreciated. I don't look back at the last 15, 20 years with any type of disdain or regret, but it is absolutely, and again, I have a 4-year-old, so that definitely does add some very powerful optics to that viewpoint, but it is forward focused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think me too. The past is in the past. You remember that part in The Lion King where the baboon hits Simba on the head and he goes, "What'd you do that for?" Doesn't matter. It's in the past. Working on
Very
it though.
true.
I think that I do a little bit of both. I think had a great upbringing, had a lot of fun. I have great friends. I've had fun jobs. I did a lot of fun stuff. Like I lived and learned, and definitely some things that looking back at were a little bananas. Probably shouldn't have been sneaking out at 15. to Mexico, but
Probably shouldn't have been drinking those cups off the table.
That might be a whole other podcast.
Yeah, that's
Wait, what? 15 snuck out to
16?
Mexico?
how old was I?
that's not just like, oh, we're gonna go to the
Freshman year,
neighbors.
15. No, if
It
you
was fun.
and we
Were,
actually
were you, were you a
sneak out.
participant? Did you facilitate?
Johnny never came. This was never any.
You know what? We found the coolest spot down there, and they sold 2 red Solo cups of margarita for $3.
You were 15.
Are you excited to have children?
Good times.
So, like, you know, those things probably shouldn't have happened at that age, but like, honestly,
Sneak across the border and go have some margaritas.
across the border.
That
But
is the
We always
single-handedly
made it back
best
on
cabin
time,
statement
though.
I think I've ever
On
heard.
time
Yeah.
for school.
in fairness, we did tell our mom. She just never believed us. So,
It's not that crazy. We only lived like 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very
This is
familiar with the area.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the logistics and yeah.
so it's like, you know, think
Yeah,
of those
back over
times.
here.
Yeah.
But,
Thank you, God.
like, yeah, it's fun to reminisce. It's fun to like think of that stuff. But then it's also like, that's going to bring a lot of awareness. Like, when our kids are older, what are they doing? How can we think like that? You know, stepping into those kind of things. And then how, you know, what were my highlights from when I was younger? How can I grow on those? You know, like, what can I take from that younger part of me and from those lessons I've learned? And how can I turn it into like my ideal life now? And then, of
Mhm.
course, like, the only way to go is forward at this
Yeah.
point. So it's like you have to take all those
Yeah.
and move forward with it and see how it all pans out.
I like that you said both. I feel the same way. I was always very forward thinking. Did not like want to take time at all to slow down, look in the mirror, anything like that. This year has been the first time I've been trying to reflect on time as we're going along, and haven't been able to do it consistently, nor am I saying I'm very good at it, but I'm trying to write down like memories as we're going throughout the year.
Cool.
So if, you know, we have, it doesn't need to be anything big, like, oh, had a dinner with a friend, had like talked about fun things, you know, went to this after work meeting or whatever it was. And like those kinds of things to then look back on the month, on the year, and kind of reflect like how those opportunities went. I feel the same way though. Like growing up, feel like I had a great childhood and all of those things. Same time, your hindsight's always 2020. So you look back and you're like, oh, I could have done that better. Could have said this during that conversation, whatever it might be. But yeah, I would say aside from that, I am very forward like thinking. So I try to take a second to slow down, look in the mirror.
And I think you're saying like taking notes, and as silly as it is, but like when the Facebook memories pop up, like I said earlier, I was like, oh my gosh, I had such a good weekend. I went to Disneyland. I was in Pasadena at an aunt's house and then went on a harbor cruise. I'm like, these were fun times. And like, I don't have the best memory, so writing things down does help. And then if it's like, that was an awesome time, I remember all of that it was influential. Like, who was I with? What was I doing? And how did it make me feel? How can I still live on that?
I think like having an older kid is really helpful for raising the 2 little ones. My daughter is freaking amazing. She's my absolute best friend, and she's just such a wonderful little person. And so, you know, I can't really have regrets on how I raised her, but I think there's things I shouldn't have done with her that, lucky that she's not holding against me still. But yeah, I can learn through that. So not that I have to like think on it or ponder, but like lesson learned. Okay, now moving forward. So it's in there. You know, it's just part of that evolution. Like I don't have to reflect on it too much to know what to do moving forward.
So at this point in time, you and I have reflected on what we have wanted to learn on, and we have been, quote unquote, honing that over a period of time. You know, and so there might be other things again that younger generations might be doing and then also might have more experience in later down the road.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think the introspection and reflection is not something that we see a lot in our society. So to have 4 people at the table who have actually actively done that, that's pretty awesome.
You know, I think the younger generation, I think like, so our generation, we're kind of flooded with like the new technologies, and it was all cool and hip, and we just like embraced it because it was so cool. And now they're like the younger generations are born into it, and they're like, oh, this isn't as cool, you know, because it's so boring, because it is.
Yeah.
So I just heard of like a new trend that the teenagers are meditating. Like they're going to do like all the teenager trend is like 15 minutes of just meditation. Like that is so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it in Jimmy's generation first. Forgive me for having to say it that way. But the recognition that social media and social norms that we had grown up with were not healthy and shouldn't necessarily be continued.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the idea that, you know, you were prep, you were goth, you were the sports kid, you were this, like, you know, think of Jump Street 21. You know, you've seen that movie when they come on to the who are these 15 different versions of people versus when they were in high school, right? It's kind of an example of that. And I think we tried to do more than we should have in our youth in many ways because of the age of information that we were riding the crest of the wave.
Mm-hmm.
We rode the crest of the wave with AOL dial-up. We rode the crest of the wave with the chat room of AOL and IM messaging to MySpace disappearing and being supplanted by Facebook, which was supplanted by then Instagram, but not really, because it was bought up by Facebook like almost instantly. So, but like all of those things were like, it was recognized by your generation as, yes, you could be an influencer. Yes, you could, you know, choose to be a part of this, or you can also just not. Ours was always trying to be involved, always trying to be seen in these extra ways through these extra venues. And none of it was established. None of it was understood. It was all new. And it was very distracting. Mm-hmm. And so seeing younger generations experience those same technologies, those same platforms with a more reasoned view really does make sense. Mm-hmm. You know, and it also makes me happy that they weren't necessarily pitfalled with the same pressures to think that was necessary.
Right.
You know, I still remember having conversations with my groups of friends of who was on my MySpace top 10 friends, you know, because that was a big deal.
Yeah,
if you were dating someone, if you were dating someone and they didn't appear in your top 10 MySpace page, it was a problem.
Yeah. So. You weren't looking at their profile enough.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's definitely a gift. The age of information that we experience versus, we experienced versus what you've experienced coming through. Being able to have it be more, you know, measured.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have a DVD player in my room. You guys have DVD players?
I have a DVD VHS combo player.
What up?
In the garage. For if and when.
My 2-year-old son can work the DVD player.
Fair enough.
But he's so cute. Like, no screen time. But then he like brings me the DVD and it's like, Shrek, please. Like, how can you say no to that?
You just don't, I guess.
At least they're watching Shrek, a 20-year-old movie.
Absolutely.
Yes. You guys are the best. I appreciate you.
Thank you for choosing to do a fun group version of this super podcast.
Cool.
This was super fun.
We'll get the video taken care of.
Okay, let's get the video.
Part 2 coming soon.
Part 2 coming soon.
Very soon. And next time we talk, I'll be over the hill.
Wah, wah, wah.
Pre and post 80 or pre and post 40. Pre and post 40 podcast. Yeah.
Oh. What would be the sound clip of the 40's the new 30? Ba-ba-ba-ba. You're over the hill. Wow.
I don't know.
Well, it's exciting that you beat me just by a few months because I have been looking forward to this one. My daughter turned 4. I turned 40. This is a big one, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm excited.
Not fearful? Not upset about it?
I'm not. I'm really not. I mean, it's coming.
It ain't stopping no matter what we wish about it.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I'm having a cool party.
All right.
80s style. I gotta just. We're gonna
You guys
go
are
see
invited.
the. Yeah, you guys are invited.
Well, thank
I'll
you.
give you details
that was
later.
a pity invite. Like, you saw that look. Like, you said, oh, we're having a
by the way,
fun,
everyone.
super fun. Hey, they're not invited. We need to.
I told her to invite you guys like a week ago. Okay. You've been
She
probably
said
so busy at work.
I've been slammed at work.
Well,
Super cool.
Thank you still for having us
Yeah, thank
come
you.
over here and
Thank you
have
guys
this
so
conversation
much.
about, this process of what it is to go through the aging, to go through the growing up and maturing, because it is
Yeah.
fun to reflect on and to hear other people's perspectives through this journey.
Yes. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Probiotic mojito virgin. This episode is brought to you by Havern Cabinetry and Design, a family business built on more than 50 years of master craftsmanship. Since 1972, owner Rick Havern has delivered immaculate, custom-built cabinetry and countertops for projects of every scale, from luxury homes to hotels, hospitals, and retail environments. Whether you're renovating a home or outfitting an entire building, their work will exceed your expectations. Learn more or request a quote at haverncabinetry.com. Link in the show notes.